Welcome, everyone. Happy Thursday. I'm the Grace Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Thursday, March 27th, 2025. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please have the first two cards in our 5-card spread? First two cards we are starting our day off with today are our 10 of Swords in its upright in combination with our Star card in its reversal. You know what I'm going to say to you guys right now? All right. We are like the next couple, here's the thing. This retrograde, I'm going to walk you guys through it. We're just going to keep on walking through this until we're out of it. All right. You don't suck. Okay. There's some planets right now going through a little bit of a traffic jam at the space where like Pisces moves into Aries. Okay, we got Neptune, Venus, and Mercury like all jammed up. Now, I'm gonna walk you through what you're feeling right now, because if you're feeling like you're a mess, the Venus in retrograde, okay, it makes us overly focus on the self, right? We feel awful. We think we look awful. We worry about how other people see us. We worry about perception. It's a lot of that getting out of your head to a certain extent, right? Things typically look worse than they are during Venus and retrograde cycles. At the same time, we've got a Mercury retrograde cycle happening. And Mercury retrograde cycles, again, and here's the thing. Venus retrograde cycles are here to help us identify that the mirror of the self, the internal mirror, is the one that matters. Right? The ability to see oneself, the ability to move in a space of doing the best that we can. The Venus retrograde is not here to make everything seem worse. It's to find the inner light of the self, to find that point of compassion, to understand that we worry because we care, and having that ability of doing so, like it allows for that extension of the self that can bring us into the space of being able to do something in a better way. While for a lot of the energy, again, in combination with the Mercury retrograde, it can be very difficult because at the same time, things feel like they're breaking down, things aren't working in the way that they typically would. Sometimes it's like, especially in those spaces, like it can feel very awkward or uncomfortable, or navigating a lot of those hurdles, right? And so we've got like, I keep on describing this. This is like the perfect storm right here of the 10 of Swords in its reversal with the Star card in its reversal. It's very easy. It's very easy to come into those spaces or places wherein we feel energetically frustrated, right? We want to look at ourselves and we feel like all we can see are flaws. But when we're able to navigate that from a point of compassion, when we're able to lead forth to a certain extent and find that ability to appreciate the fact that we're doing something the best that we can, that sense of compassion extends not only to ourselves, but in effect to all around us, right? And that's why I keep on seeing that. This is why I keep on hearing that this energetic cycle is chariot energy, right? And we can articulate that chariot energy is very similar to training wheel energy. Things that are slow to start, right? It's a lot of that, work that we and this is why we talk about the fact that when we're trying to do something, we have to be able to feel clumsy in the process of doing it, right? We have to have those moments that often feel like, I keep on hearing it's stumbling upwards energy, right? It's a lot of that work that we often identify, that when we feel frustrated with ourselves, but then we recognize the reason that we're frustrated is because we're trying to do something better. Like in those moments, we immediately find the possibility for expansion, right? And so I want you to think about that a lot right now, because the thing is, I know like and I have to stress this. If you're going through a rough patch during this eclipse, I want you communicating about it. I don't want you isolating through it. Okay? It doesn't require, like, I keep on hearing, you don't need to white knuckle your own existence, because that sense or space of being able to articulate to another, it's sometimes in those moments that we get out of our headspace that we're able to Like we're able to recognize what it is that we're working on, or what it is that we're working through. So everything I keep on seeing here, I keep on seeing there's a lot of work that is happening right now in relationality to recognizing and identifying. I keep on hearing the clumsiness of a new beginning, right? The clumsiness that identifies doing something in a way that you haven't done it before, right? Versus feeling energetically frustrated. And that's why I keep on hearing right now, there are situations for a lot of the energy in separation right now. I'm seeing the fact that it feels like there are either chapters closing or new chapters opening, right? And everything, I keep on hearing, everything is being, and why is it chariot energy? Because chariot energy, everything is being articulated upon direction, right? What feels like it's moving in the positive direction, what feels like it's moving in a way, again, clumsy, but the right direction, right? like clumsy, but the right direction. There's trepidation here, right? But that is the difference. And I keep on seeing the space that it's like, I keep on hearing for the energy and separation, it is the clumsiness that is indicative in someone doing something that they haven't done before, right? It feels, I keep on seeing like, and this is why for some of this energy right now in separation, if these are new partnerships forming, it's a lot, I keep on hearing, it's a lot of this, like, what is a Venus in retrograde with a Mercury retrograde? It's a lot of this pardon our appearance kind of thing, right? It's a lot of that space of like, it's working through a lot of those frustration. Not getting energetically frustrated, but working in the context of feeling that expansive point that we're able to find and give each other that space of grace. Now, that's why I keep on seeing that for a lot of those, like I have to stress this, for a lot of the energy and separation right now, this is energy that feels very vulnerable. I keep on seeing that these are energies in separation that have not been, the wounds that they're carrying are not due to a lack of love, but from love that didn't feel like love. Because often when another person has an expansive amount of feeling for us, but they haven't done enough work on the self, our love feels like it is fear, right? And so this is why I keep on seeing, and we were having this in yesterday's reading, and this is really important. The ability to, there's something that's been coming through in the cards for the last few days in relationality to the ability to disassemble. Why has there been a message that's coming through right now in the ability to disassemble? And it's very important. I'm going to come back to something that we saw a few days ago, because about 2 days ago, I need to point this out because I fell upon this today when I was about to do the reading, and it was really important because it was interesting because there was a different 10 of Wands that came through in the reading about 2 days ago. Now, if you recall, about 2 days ago, we had 3 of the 4 10 cards out. Now, the interesting thing that we recognized was that the only 10 card out that was not out was the 10 of Wands. Now, it's very interesting because typically the 10 of Wands, when you see the 10 of Wands, it is the energy of someone moving on, right? It is the energy of someone moving on. But, and this is what's fascinating about it, we actually had, and you can go to the Substack and you can go see this spread because we saw it about 2 days ago. We had the 10 card. I actually pointed out in the reading, I said, we actually have the other 10 card here because the card that came out together were the 9 of Wands with the Ace of Wands. That's a new 10. That's a new 10. And what's interesting about that is it is about holding an energetic standard, right? It's not the same 10 card. It doesn't have the same meaning because the 10, like the 10 card, the 10 of Wands is effectively just moving on, right? The 10 of Wands that is the combination of the 9 of Wands with the Ace of Wands is actually like, wait a minute. It's like that. I want to describe it. It's like the energy of starting to move on and going, wait, what was that? Like, it's a lot of that, like, it's a lot of that pause, right? It's that moment that we're able to see something within ourselves that we couldn't see before. It's like recognizing the blind spot, right? Like something that we don't recognize that we're doing that we're suddenly able to see. And so there's something really beautiful about that, because I keep on getting that there's a lot of work that's occurring right now as it relates to this eclipse energy, which is helping the self see the energetic blind spot. And that's why it's hard, because sometimes when we see an energetic blind spot, we feel devastated by it. But I have to stress this. It's the ability to recognize a blind spot that is usually the architecture to be able to do better, right? It is a gift to see a blind spot, because the ability to see something that we couldn't see before allows us an ability to be able to move through it. It creates a space of being able to correct for it. So we see even now that there's a lot of that work. And that's why I keep on getting that a lot of this, like, you have to be able to navigate your cringe to come through this retrograde. Like, you have to be able to navigate one's own sense of uncomfortability to a certain extent, because it's in that space or in that place that, again, when we're able to navigate in that way, we leave this point of expansionness. And I need to point this out. When we heal from the space of feeling like we need to be perfect, our love starts to feel like love, right? Because it's in those moments that we allow for that ability to identify the difference I keep on seeing between the resistance of change versus the clumsiness of someone who is trying, right? I keep on seeing that this is why there's a lot of this work that is allowing for that point of like working in the context of what feels like it isn't able to, like, being able to identify what isn't working in a situation that allows one to move forward from it, or new energetic connections that are happening during this retrograde that has a lot to do with disassembling, taking the parts, like being able to talk, like work through what happened. Like I see energy coming together in separation, being like, all right, let me walk you through what happened. like, okay, so this was here and then this was here. Like it's working through. And that's what I keep on hearing. Disassembling, but not fixated, right? The difference between disassembling but not fixated, right? Because what is the difference between disassembling versus not fixated? When we're fixated on something, we're obsessed with it because we're trying to fix it. That's why it's called fixated, right? But when we're disassembling, we are looking at something to take it apart in order to understand how it works, like understanding the self. So I keep on seeing that there's a gift that's happening right now for a lot of energy and separation that is being able to recognize during this eclipse cycle the difference between fixation and disassembling. Right? The difference between someone that is like holding on to something and being like, I can't let go of it. versus the energy that takes something apart in order to understand the self better. Right? It's like fixing the self versus fixated is what I keep on getting. Now, for a lot of the energy that's happening across all the frequencies right now. And that's why I hear for a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union, there's a little bit of that work where I keep on telling you guys, Neptune, Venus, and Mercury, like here's a joke. Neptune, Venus, and Mercury walk into a bar. What do you got? You got a nostalgia you got a nostalgia factory. You know, like those three planets together, they're going to talk about the good old days. Like it's going to be like everything's over. It's a lot of that energy. It's like, you know, Neptune, Venus, and Mercury are like stumbling out of the bar together kind of thing, you know, like talking about like fast friends kind of energy. It's a lot of that. It's a lot of that, it's a lot of that force of nostalgia coming through to a certain extent. So I want to kind of describe, and again, I'm not someone who's usually like, they're coming back, but like, it's more like cue the Celine Dion song. It's going to feel like a lot of like emotional purging in being able to, and I can see some energy right now coming into divine union, getting nostalgic because it's the energy that realizes how much they've changed, right? It's a lot of that. Now for masculine and feminine, deep within divine union right now, this is why I keep on seeing that this is a lot of energy this is straight up into Taurus right now. Like I see, like I'm like, I keep on here, like I keep on seeing that there's something about the energy deep within divine union that's just, it's over, it's already went through the Aries cycle. They're already in Taurus, which is it having to do. And that's why I see that there was that nine of wands with the ace of wands, which is a different 10. And that's what's so cool about it. And I know I'm like, if you don't know tarot, I'm like nerding out on something that might not make sense to you. But like the 10 of wands is about moving on. And the 10 made up of the nine of wands with an ace of wands is like, absolutely not. It's like drawing the line. You know what I mean? It's like, it's holding an energetic standard. It's a lot of that space of being like, it's like working in the space of understanding that the gift we give to one another is being able to recognize and identify. And I keep on seeing like the space or place of navigating. Like I keep on hearing like the and this is why it feels like heavy on Libra and Taurus energy, being able to like what it takes to create, like a level plane, right? It's a lot of that work. It's like and you have to I keep on getting, it's like when you're working through, when you're trying to create consistency, sometimes that's easy. Sometimes the ground is smooth. Sometimes you go through it. And it's like, that's why there's a lot of work right now in determination and resilience. Center card for today's spread is two of swords in its reversal. And here's the thing about it. I need to point this out. So, one of the things that we're seeing to a certain extent is, and I keep on seeing this, like the energy in separation, I keep on getting it's training wheels energy. And this is why I'm going to say this again to anyone experiencing this. I'm trying to save you a reading here. Okay? Like, do not take things personally right now. Don't take things personally during eclipse cycles. Do not take things personally right now. I know, and listen, I know you, I can already hear you guys trying, but I don't care. Okay? Like, I don't care. I mean this because again, I'm going to tell you often what you might not recognize, okay? They're like, I am trying to save you from looking foolish. I am here. I am trying to help you. Okay. Because when you take something personally and then you realize that something bigger, like something worse, like again, you don't want to be in that space. There's clumsiness here. The energy's clumsy and we've got a Venus retrograde happening. Don't take things personally. A little compassion is going to go a long way right now. Okay? Things look worse than they are, and it's really easy to internalize. Okay? I'm telling you. And if you've already done so, take accountability for it. It's okay. But you gotta have that moment of working through this right now, because here's the thing. It's a lot of doubling back energy. It's a lot of that, like, it's a lot of accidentally rushing ahead. It's a lot of getting ahead. It's like I told you, you navigate it by being compassionate. You be compassionate for the self. You be compassionate for those around you. And I keep on seeing, like, because if you make something, like, don't, and here's the thing, like, I'm telling you, the thing with these, like, the thing with these Venus retrograde cycles is, it's like, and again, the reason that you feel that something's all about you is often when you have that feeling of something that feels energetically targeted. It is the vibe right now. Okay. It is the vibe. Don't, like, please. Can I please get two more cards? Two more cards, please. Highest priority messages from Spirit. I'm doing my best here, guys. Okay. You see? Like, we've got here, this card has been coming up like hotcakes right now. This card's been coming up like hotcakes. 6 of Pentacles with the World card. Okay, if you feel like you're going through it, so does everybody else. Right? Don't take it personally. Be compassionate. Give the same compassion that you would aspire for yourself to those around you. Because again, I keep on seeing, and that's the thing about this right now, like, this type of energy it makes us all feel like we are on the ropes, right? It makes us all feel, it feels isolating. It feels frustrating. Everybody's got no patience right now because there's too many planets in Aries. So everybody's just like, when you bring a bit of compassion there, it's helpful. So I want you to kind of think like everybody's, I keep on saying it, and that's the thing about it. Everybody's all up in like Aries, Pisces, Taurus energy right now. And what we really need, we need some Libra energy. We need some Leo energy, right? We need that ability to like not work through the space of taking something personally, bringing some of that compassion in. Now, and I keep on seeing, and this is why for the energy and separation, there's something really important. I keep on hearing the difference, like the energy that, and this is why it feels like it's chariot energy, right? Fixation versus disassembling, right? The difference between being what happens when we're fixated upon something. When we're energetically fixated upon something, we sometimes can't make something right because we're so in a space of trying to find blame that we're not coming into a space of being energetically productive. And that's why I keep on seeing that there's almost some kind of pathwork of comparison that may be opening right now to energy and separation in the difference between what feels like fixation versus what feels like disassembling, right? Because sometimes I keep on saying when something's not working, it's very easy to want to push blame. It's very easy to say it's him, right? Or it's all me, right? And that's the force of it, right? It's like your hands are free. That's nice. Like when you overly project outwards, you're basically saying I can't do anything. When you overly project inwards, you say I'm the worst, can't do anything. It's the same. It's woe is me energy, right? It's that space that says it's like coming into those spaces of identifying the frustration of helplessness. But when we come into the space that we're disassembling, and that's why I keep on hearing you're busy, right? You're taking something apart because you're trying to identify and understand how to make it right. You're taking something apart to better understand what you can do better next time. And so I keep on seeing that there's something really important that's happening right now for energy across the frequencies in the difference between someone being fixated upon something, right? And when you're versus coming into that space of energetic disassembling, right? The ability to assess both the self and others to be able to make something feel like it's more energetically productive. This is why I keep on seeing that the partnerships that are coming through right now are chariot partnerships, because this is energy that's literally seeing the difference between someone talking about the past in a way that feels like they're fixated versus something that feels like someone disassembling it in order to understand what went wrong in order to fix it in the present. Right? The ability to understand the self, to say, I hold on to this not because I'm trying to fix it. I'm not trying to fix something outside of the self. I'm trying to fix something within the self, right? Continuing to get clarification between the 10 of Swords in combination, in its reversal, in combination with the Star card in its reversal. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Devil card in its reversal, right? When we get fixated on things, we can't fix anything. When we get fixated on things, we can't fix anything, right? Because when we overly focus on when we get in that space of overly focusing on what's wrong, we're not articulating upon what we can do better, right? There's a lot of that energy here. And I keep on hearing, like, it's funny because and this is why like a bit of Aries energy is helping us right now, because what does Aries always say? Aries always says there's no crying in baseball. Why does Aries say there's no crying in baseball? Because like when you are in the midst of doing something, right? And all you're doing is perseverating on what happened a moment before that you're not happy about. You're not present in the moment, right? You're not building into the context of what you can do, right? It's an overcorrection point. We talk a lot about this here, right? And that's the thing with Aries. This is why Aries don't hang on to things, right? Because Aries are like, what's the point? like Aries is like Aries is interesting too, because like the thing is with all this Neptune transferring over into Aries, right? Like there's a lot of that work that it's like it's again, it's like it's not. And I keep on hearing like that's why a lot of this, like that's why a lot of this work that we're experiencing, and this is happening across all the frequencies, it's not a shipwreck, it's hidden treasure, right? It's not focusing on what is lost, it's working in the context of what can be gained. And that's why I keep on seeing that a lot of these energies that are coming together right now during this period, they're chariot energies. They're energies that look to each other and say, we don't come together, we don't seek perfection in each other. We understand perfection is what we make. It's not what can be found. When we're making, ironically, like when we're seeking perfection, perfection is not that moment that we utilize and say, oh, I'm not moving forward because it's not perfect. We work to perfect something. The act of perfecting something is taking something that is not perfect and working to perfect it. It's not seeking it. And I keep on seeing that some of these energies are healing from situations or circumstances where there may have been a lack of movement articulated by someone articulating and giving reasons because they were saying that another was not perfect. And the energy had the breakthrough point in understanding that when another person says the reason they can't move forward is not because something's perfect, it's never going to move forward because perfection is an ideal, right? You can always make something more perfect. It's a Zeno's paradox. Like there's always a reason not to. Like there's always, like if you say to someone, well, it's not perfect, being like, well, it's never going to happen because perfection, what have we been saying? Perfection is not something you can chart on a map. It's a cardinal direction. It's always ahead of the self. It's never to be found. It's not something that you seek in another. It's something that you create together. And that's why these are chariot partnerships. And that's why I see a lot of this energy coming into divine union, building into the pathwork of nostalgia. Because this is the energy that's basically saying to one another as they come into union, I was looking for something outside of the self that I had to find within. Right? Like I can see almost the counterpart saying, you look really beautiful in that moment, and being like, that is not a beautiful person. That was a lost person, right? Because often we recognize that the discovery of the self is that moment that we stop looking outwards and we start looking inwards. So it's interesting because I almost see that a lot of the energy right now coming into divine union, it's got Scorpio there. They're moving into hermit lessons, right? It's like the understanding of the self. It's like looking in the self being like, woof. It's a lot of that kind of work there. While for masculine and feminine right now, deep within divine union, this is all Taurus and Libra lessons right now. This is about what it takes to be able to create consistency. And what's interesting is, like, I think this is wild, is that we created a new 10. Like we created a new 10 2 days ago. We created a new 10 2 days ago with the arrival of the 9 of Wands with the Ace of Wands, which is not, it's not the wand card that says moving on. It's the energy that says holding the energetic line, finding the energetic standard, being able to articulate upon what that is, continuing to get clarification between our star card in its reversal in combination with our 2 of Swords in its reversal. One card to clarify, please. Clarification. There it is. This card will not stay in the deck. Okay? This card will not stay. This card will not stay in the deck, man. Ever since, listen to me, ever since we came into this eclipse cycle, this Knight of Swords, like it's like the Knight of Swords. You know what? It feels good. I know. It feels good to get things off the chest. Right? It feels good when we're feeling, and here's the thing about it. I got to tell you right now, there's a lot of, and those with Aries placements understand this. The thing with Aries placements is, and I like to point this out, Aries often arrive here with the moment of saying, if you can't handle me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And like the healed Aries, like having come through their journey, will often say, if you can't handle me at my worst, I don't blame you. That's ridiculous. I'm really, it's like, it's holding the self to the higher standard. It's recognizing and identifying that the patience, finding patience is the moment that you are empathetic for being able to recognize, like working on the self to a sense as trying to say, like, this is what I'm going to try to do in order to facilitate something working in a better way going forward. So I want to kind of stress this right now. If you're feeling hard on yourself, right? If you're getting upset at yourself, being able to kind of work through the frustration in ways that feels like it is energetically productive, right? Because what happens in those moments that we get frustrated and we want to give up? We find that reserve of patience within the self. We give ourselves compassion. I keep on hearing, don't get furious. Think about fledglings, right? Think about like the work that a bird has to do when it's learning how to fly, right? Does that always look perfect? No, it looks like a mess. You ever seen it? It's hilarious. Go look at some bird videos. Okay, it's great. They look like, you're like, that thing is never gonna get airborne. Like, you look at it and you're just like, ooh. But that's the thing. You have to be able to have compassion for yourself if you're learning how to do something, right? Don't get frustrated, right? Don't get and here's the thing about it too, and that's why I keep on seeing, if you're seeing something right now that is triggering to you, especially as it relates to energy and separation right now, I keep on hearing there's a very important message right now for energy and separation. The past, sometimes the issue with being hurt in the past is we want to carry that pain forward. And one of the things that I keep on seeing that'll be helpful for energy and separation right now, if there's clumsiness, being able to recognize the difference between someone stalling, right? The space of someone trying to articulate and give reasons why they're not, versus someone trying to do everything they can, right? Everything they can to do something better, right? The difference between someone, I keep on saying, the difference between someone fixated upon something that makes it impossible to fix versus someone who's trying to, I keep on getting, like trying to make accommodations, trying to make adjustments, a little bit of this pardon our appearance energy. So again, a little patience right now. I keep on saying patience and observation is going to help inform like what feels like it's moving in a productive direction. And I keep on hearing, like, remember, emotionality isn't direction. There's only one thing that are directions. Directions are directions, right? While for masculine and feminine energy, and that's why I keep on seeing, if you're feeling frustrated, communicate upon the frustration. Don't just express it, right? For masculine and feminine energy, I keep on seeing there's a lot of work for the energy coming into divine union and being able to recognize and identify how they may have stood in each other in their own way. And those moments stink. Like, here's just, like, we talk about this coming on, like being in, like, here's the thing, coming into awareness of oneself is not like, oh, like, it's not sunshine and rainbows. It's rough on them streets, right? It's rough on them streets, because often you look back and you wince, you go, oof, right? Because you see something that you couldn't see before, right? And that's why I keep on hearing stumbling upwards, like those moments of being able to understand that often when we do so, we often look back and we say, and that's why I keep on hearing, like, I see some energy looking, like, I keep on seeing that there's some kind of sentimentality that is being created right now for energy coming into divine union. And it's being articulated and identified in the difference between someone looking back. I keep on hearing someone say, like, you look absolutely beautiful there. And someone else saying, it's nice that you think I look beautiful, because that's someone who is very, very lost, right? Like, that's someone who is searching, right? Like, that is someone who is searching. Like, so there's that's why there's a lot of that nostalgia, because being able to look back and see something, and then, like, I keep on hearing the paradox of nostalgia, someone seeing something with sentimentality that you see in a different context is what's effectively forming there. While for masculine and feminine energy right now, deep within divine union, I keep on seeing a lot of this work that we're identifying. Like, this is why it feels so much like that. Like, I keep on seeing, like, the Taurus and Libra energy, because Taurus and Libra energy are unified in the space of understanding, like often pathwork of, like, here's the thing. It's like pathwork of what makes balance, right? And often, like, and then we have to see, and, like, here's the thing about it, like, sometimes, like, there's a lot of that, I keep on seeing there's, like, a lot of that work that is required in finding that ability of being patient with oneself, right? Not getting frustrated, like just allowing, I keep on saying like the allowing for the context of resiliency and determination, because I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy in divine union, being able to articulate upon that, like building into, I keep on hearing the energy that's deep within divine union saying the love I give you is the consistency we create together. Like that's almost like it feels like I want to say it feels like it's Jedi energy because it's like we must maintain the balance. Right, continuing to get clarification between two of swords in its reversal in combination with the six of pentacles in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through in, yeah, there it is, the five of wands in its upright. Listen, I guarantee you right now, you're probably struggling with something in your head that is not as big a deal as you think it is. I gotta tell you. I mean that right now. I mean that with like a lot of compassion, because I need to stress this right now. Like, you know, how do I describe this? The energy, like the energy right now, like I keep on describing, like I have to say, like the Venus, it's a combination of like the Venus in retrograde with the Mercury retrograde. It sometimes creates that ability of sometimes overcorrecting and feeling like the things that aren't working are our fault, right? But we talk about here, like remembering fault is not helpful, right? Because fault comes into the space of like wanting to, like fault is when you, like, I keep wondering, fault is where we shift blame. Like fault is where we move things off, right? It's creating for those spaces of recognizing and identifying and coming into the space of the expansion, right? And I keep on hearing like there's something really important that occurs on a good journey where it's like you just stop operating in the space of fault, right? Because, fault is the context by which we try to give a reason that something is occurring, right? It's like, and I need to point this out. We also do this in spiritual spaces. Like I'm saying this here. Like we always want to be in a space where the reason we're talking about this energy is to help you and support you on the journey. But it should never be in a space that one feels like you need it, right? You have to hold something. You have to hold something gently in order to love it. Right. And when we hold something gently, it doesn't feel like we lean on it too heavily. It feels like it nourishes us. It feels like it supports us. And I keep on seeing that there's something really important about that message coming through because for a lot of the energy in separation, I keep on seeing that there's something that's to be said as it relates to those connections that almost articulate to each other that says, I move with you, not because I need to, but because I desire to, right? Because we walk together, it's like we don't energetically lean on each other, right? We find, like we do at times, right? I need to point this out. Like we do at times, but we don't feel like that is the condition by which we navigate, right? So I keep on seeing that this is a lot of the energy in separation. This is why it feels like they're chariot partnerships, because this is the energy that keeps on saying, I'm trying to disassemble what happened so that I can be stronger, right? Like I see the energy literally working through something and someone being able to articulate and identify, trying to take something apart to, and I can even see like some of this energy right now, potentially in separation, like talking about the past to a great degree. But the ability to notate and recognize the difference between someone trying to take something apart in order to try to rush back and fix something versus someone who has taken something apart because they understand exactly why it was broken, right? There's a difference there. And I keep on seeing that that's like something that's very valuable and important because it's the energy that feels like they're solution focused, not problem oriented, right? While for masculine and feminine energy right now that is coming into divine union. I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy coming into divine union, this is the energy that's like, I keep on seeing, like, it feels like, I keep on hearing an outpouring. I'm getting like an out, like, that's why it feels like there's so much of this energy right now. Here's the thing. I feel like there's like, this is like, there's a lot of like, I keep on hearing like this cleansing moment, like being able to expound upon something, being able to say something in a way that one couldn't say it before. And that's why it feels very it feels very Scorpio, because this is the energy that's talking a lot about the past, but they're talking about the past because they've healed from it. They're talking about the past because they're in a space that it feels like, I keep on hearing I keep on hearing the energy say it feels good to share, right? It feels good to articulate upon it. And what's interesting is and for the energy deep within divine union, it almost says to me, it's like the exact opposite. So like, for the energy deep within divine union right now, it's the exact opposite. Why? Because it's when we feel a lot of that heaviness, when we feel like there's a lot of work to be done, we navigate sharing with trepidation, because we work towards what feels like it's balance, like it's coming into that space of articulating and recognizing like what is needed in a situation. Continuing to get clarification between our Six of Pentacles in combination with our World card in its upright. One card to clarify, please. There's that three, like the Three of Wands in its reversal. Here's the thing about, and I got to tell you, like, I think I told you guys that like a lot of this work that we experienced coming into like Pluto moving into Aquarius has to do with like honoring your no to a certain extent, right? And I keep on seeing that there's something really beautiful about this, because even for the energy in separation, there's something really important that's happening there, because there's I keep on hearing there's hesitation that is a yes, right? Like this is the energy that is trepidatious moving towards each other, but they're doing so because they're careful. And I can almost see that for a lot of the energy in separation, it's understanding the difference between someone being trepidatious because they don't care versus someone being trepidatious because they're very conscientious. You know what I mean? Like it's almost like it's interesting, and that's why they're saying it's polite energy. You know what I mean? Like it's like the energy is like almost overly polite to each other because they recognize they're in the process of healing. Now, for masculine and feminine energy coming into divine union, I just keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy coming into divine union, they've stopped being polite. This is actually the opposite. This is the energy that feels like they're becoming messy with each other. Like they're moving into that space where they no longer feel like they need to be polite. And for a lot of the for the energy deep within divine union, I keep on hearing politeness has nothing to do with it. It's like I keep on seeing it's like this is the energy that is just like I keep on getting like there's a little bit of this like work that is it's giving me like shrug, because it's just shrugging off things that bother you in order to continue with the point of consistency. Continuing to get clarification between our Devil card and its reversal in combination with our Knight of Swords and its upright. One card to clarify, please. Clarification. Oh my goodness. Especially here's the thing with the Three of Wands in its reversal, with the Two of Wands in its reversal. Like here we gotta talk. Like you gotta give. Here's the thing: you gotta give the retrogrades their due right now. Like that's the thing that's significant and important to notate, because everything that I'm identifying here is saying to me that here's just like the thing about it is, and this is why I keep on saying it's really important not to assume things right now, right? It's very important not to assume things and not to over internalize, because everything that I keep on seeing here, you know, the way I like to describe it is the combination force of the Venus with the Mercury can often feel like everything is just happening to you, right? It makes feel like everything is just focused on the self, right? It's like that. It's like the indulgence point. Like it's the indulgence point, and if you got triggered by you hearing this, like it's the words on purpose. Like you know what I mean? Like on like it's like if I'm saying that right now and you're like, it's because that's the vibe. Right? It's a lot of that space where it makes it feel like things are directed towards us. And that's why I'm going to tell you right now, baby, don't. Don't do that. Don't let yourself believe that. Don't let yourself believe the hype of don't let yourself believe the hype of the Venus Mercury retrograde, which sometimes can create that space of being like on purpose. Like, you know what I mean? Like let the compassion in, right? Don't get energetically triggered, because sometimes when we feel like something's on purpose, we don't know what's happening. That's the best thing I can tell you to help you through this retrograde. Sometimes when we feel like something's on purpose, we don't know what's happening. So I want you to kind of be mindful of that right now. Continuing to get clarification between our Knight of Swords in combination with our Five of Wands in its upright. Can I get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with our King of Wands in its upright. Like there's a lot of that. I keep on seeing there's a lot of that work to be navigated here, right? It can feel very energetically clumsy. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a little bit of work to be navigated right now I don't know why I'm hearing, there's a lot of work to be navigated upon right now in relationality to the last minute. And I think that a lot of that we're seeing has to do with a lot of that Aries energy, because here's the thing with this is the thing with Aries energy. Is like Aries energy is very much like, it's like down to the wire kind of thing, right? It's a lot of that, like, it's like, it's like sometimes, and Aries can sometimes it's a lot of that, like sometimes those moments that feel like they're those hurry up and wait moments, right? Like working through a lot of that context. So I want you to be kind of mindful of that right now, because I keep on seeing that and here's the thing, this has to do with the fact that Neptune is moving upwards, right? And Mercury is moving backwards. The energy that would usually be slow to start is moving forwards, and the energy that would typically be fast to move is moving backwards. It can create timing disruptions. It can feel like things are like awkward, like timing issues. So I just want you to kind of recognize that right now. And listen, I don't want you moving too quickly right now. If you're feeling rushed, I want you to slow things down, right? And I know it feel like, and again, if you're feeling resistant about that, then I'm going to say that double, because again, there's a little bit of this energy that feels like nothing can wait, but let that, I keep on saying, let everything move you into the space of what feels like it is energetically patient and productive, because I keep on seeing that modality of being able to build into a context of expansion, there's a lot of possibilities to be found there. Continuing to get clarification, here's it is between Five of Wands in combination with our Three of Wands in its reversal. One card to clarify. Yep. Again, we've got it's not like everything isn't falling apart. It's pardon our appearance energy, right? I keep on telling you, it's chariot energy. It's like training wheels. So those abilities are those situations where and this is the thing we recognize. When we're trying to do something, we don't hold on to perfect, right? We leave room for expansion. I keep on seeing, the thing about it is, I keep on hearing and this is why, and this is preparing us for Saturn transiting into Aries as well. Transformations take time. Changes take time, right? But the most important thing to define is the difference between Transformation is something that feels like it is articulating upon progress. Transformation are those moments that we're able to recognize and define and articulate what it feels like to come into the space of change. And that's why I keep on seeing that a bit of the gift that's happening for a lot of the energy and separation right now is the difference. I keep on hearing recognizing a transformation process between someone that is learning how to do something and is clumsy in the process versus someone that was refusing to change because of a lack of perfection, right? The ability to identify, like the refusal. I keep on seeing that this is energy that is healing from that feeling of having to be perfect in order to move into the perfect relationship. Because effectively, often in those moments that another person is saying the reason that they're not moving forward is because something isn't perfect, what they're really articulating is they're not in the space of doing what it takes to make perfect. They're just looking for perfect, right? They're just looking. It's like, and again, often energy that's looking for perfect is often always dissatisfied, because what do we say here? Perfect, say it with me, everyone. Perfect is not a destination. It is a cardinal direction. You cannot find perfect. If you feel like something's perfect and you arrive there, I guarantee you it's not going to be as perfect as it looks on the outside. Perfect is something that you make. It isn't something that you find. So I keep on seeing that there's a lot of this energy either working in the context of building into partnerships in that way, that again, the gift that they're finding in the counterpart is patience as they perfect something, healing from circumstances or experiences that were demanding perfection. Continuing to get clarification between our Two of Wands in combination with our King of Wands and its upright. One card to clarify, please. Yep. It's giving me, again, it's giving me fledgling energy. It's giving me training wheels. It's giving me that space of leaving, like I need to point this out. Perfect stops anything from getting done, right? Like if we're in that space that we're like, when we come into that, like again, when we come into that space of looking for something that's energetically exceptional, we don't leave room to get anything done because we're always finding reasons why, right? You can always find reasons why. It's not about finding the reasons why something isn't going the way that it is. It's about doing the work to move something in the direction that it needs to move towards, right? It's keep on hearing, focusing on the present, letting go of the past. And there is something about this. I see some energy in separation that's basically saying, yeah, there could have been some kind of ability to fix something here. But when someone becomes too fixated on what wasn't working right in the past, you prevent the ability to fix something in the present, right? I keep on hearing I keep on hearing fixation doesn't fix things, fixes things. And when we become overly fixated on something from the past, what we're basically saying is we refuse to change or we refuse to fix things because we're always looking for a reason why we're not arriving, right? Like we're not arriving, like, so yeah, like when you're constantly fixated on something, you're always late, is what I keep on hearing, right? When you're always looking for a reason, there's always a reason, but it's not about looking for the reason. It's about working in the context of doing the best that you can. And that's why I keep on seeing that there's like this is a little bit of I keep on seeing there's a little bit of this energy here that feels like it's so frustrating because this is the energy that's like articulating their frustration to one another as they build into those partnerships. Now, for a lot of the energy coming into divine union right now, this is the energy that's basically, I keep on hearing, this is energy that's opening up to the counterpart on why they are not perfect. This is the energy that's opening up to the counterpart on why they are not perfect. And this is what is the counterpart saying to one another as they go. Our job is not to be perfect. Our job is to acknowledge what we're trying to do so that we can do it better. And this is the energy that says, if you're telling me why you're not perfect, you're perfected, right? Because you're self-aware. And having awareness of how you're not perfect is half the battle. Like that's the energy that goes, that's half the battle, right? That's the hard part. The other part is doing something about it. Like welcome to Scorpio energy. And then for a lot of the energy right now coming in, like deep within divine union, this is a lot of that energy Like, and I think there's something beautiful about this because I can see some energy here saying, how do you do it? And the energy says, you give it, it's very easy. Just give it all it takes, right? Like all it takes is all it takes. Because when you're, and this is why it feels like a lot of Taurus and Libra energies, because when you build upon an energetic commitment to the self, some days that's easy. Some days it takes everything, right? Like when you prioritize that commitment, you don't worry about, you don't think so much about it. You just move towards it. You know, it's not about what it takes. It's about doing it, is what I keep hearing. Continuing to get clarification between our King of Wands and its upright in combination with our Death card and its upright. I know what this message is going to be. Yeah. High Priestess in its upright. I like that. You know, there's something really important about this. The moment that we acknowledge that we are afraid, instead of moving in the space of allowing our fears to consume us, is the moment that is what bravery is. Bravery is not being in a space where we don't have fears. It's not allowing the fears not to operate from the place of our fears. It's coming into the space of feeling determination. And I keep on seeing that for a lot of the energy right now, across all of the frequencies, that ability to recognize and understand, that ability of, I keep on seeing, like working through fear in healthy ways. This is how our love feels like love, because this is the energy that's doing that work that says when they feel a fear, they don't just operate on that fear. They investigate the fear. They investigate the fear within them to understand that the fear, everything we're given, is a gift. But, you know, those moments or those anxieties, a lot of the reason we talk about being able to quell our fears is being able to recognize and identify. I keep on describing this. You guys know what I'm going to talk about. Like, you have to look at your fear as like that little kid inside of you who likes to draw weird pictures. Okay. Like, you got to look at it as that like little kid inside of you that likes to draw weird pictures. And sometimes, like, you know, the little kid with the weird pictures tugs on you and you go, what are you doing here? Because they always sneak up on you, you know, and you go, I made you something. And you go, oh boy, all right, buddy, what do you got for me today? And sometimes that fear is completely ridiculous. Sometimes that fear is something just like really weird. And you go, okay, buddy, there's not much we can do about that. We're going to put this over here. Put this over here. All right. We're going to put it here on the wall. Okay. We're going to look at it. All right. Or sometimes the energetic fear is something that we can act upon. Right? Sometimes that creepy little child in us has a note. It has something important for us to see. And we say, you know what, buddy, that's good. We can do something about that. We can help alleviate that. So I keep on seeing that, and I keep on hearing what's beautiful about that is I keep on hearing the reason that these energies coming together during this period is the reason that they're chariot energies is because they've built a healthy relationship with their fear, right? This is the energy that says, I don't move away from it. I don't run from my fear, right? I don't follow it full tilt, right? I navigate through it. I look to it for understanding of the self. I look to the fear to understand what it is like, where it springs forth from. And in that space, this is the energy that says to one another, and because I have the ability to introspect the fear, I am capable of loving, because my love feels like love, right? Final card for today, and that's happening across all of the frequencies. Final card for today's spread between our Four of Wands and its reversal in combination with our High Priestess. Can I get one card to clarify? Clarification coming through right now with the Ace of Pentacles in its reversal. Now, and I keep on, and like, here's the thing. Like, for a lot of the energy right now, it's work. It is like right now, and I'm going to say this, if you are a sign that works a lot towards ideals, this is going to be rougher for you right now. Like, especially again, Virgos, Aquarius, Pisces, Energies like that, it's not about remembering. I'm just going to say this again. It's not about, the ideal is not something that we arrive at. It's something that we build towards. So if you're feeling a lot of that frustration right now, you know, work in the context of what feels like it moves you in the direction of what that energetic ideal is. But don't get frustrated with yourself right now if things aren't perfect, right? There's something to be navigated in this space of being able to, and I keep on seeing this, the flaws that become facets, right? It's not about moving into that context of working through that. It's in the moment that we're able to embrace our flaws, the moment that we're able to see ourselves, that we recognize that we don't have to be perfect to be loved. And I'm going to keep saying this because, I want you to, again, think about anyone that you love and care about. Do you love and care about them because they're perfect? Is that why you love them? Or do you love them for them at their eccentricities? Do you love them for those things that make them unique? So those abilities and those points of identifying, I keep on seeing, across all of the frequencies right now, for energy and separation, like that's what's so difficult, because I see some energy in separation, healing from some context by which they had to move away from a situation because someone was always making them feel like a failure, right? Because when someone tries to say the only way you can achieve love with me is if you're perfect, then we constantly feel like we're moving in the point of being a failure. And so that's why I keep on hearing that this is a lot of energy that's coming towards each other from a point of trepidation, because this is the energy that's saying, and this is why it's chariot energy. This is the energy that says, I don't see failure, right? I see the energy that says, when someone looks to another and says they're a failure, that's the energy that says, sounds like someone who didn't want to put the work in, right? Like there's something really fundamental that's happening right now in relationality to some of that work here. And so what I like about this is, and this is why I keep on hearing that it's chariot energy, because this is the energy that says, I understand that in order to move towards perfect, I have to be willing to get my hands dirty, right? It's the energy that doesn't shy away from that doesn't give the reasons why they're not, but they're actively doing what is necessary in order to build into it. You see, like it's like putting, like, again, it's like that's the energy that says perfect is not found, it's made, right? This is the energy that's literally saying to one another as they do so, perfect is not found. It's not seeking it in another, it's finding it in the self. While for masculine and feminine coming into divine union, this is the energy that's extolling to each other and saying, I need to tell you, I'm not perfect. And this is the energy says, what gave you any idea? Like, what gave you any idea that I expected you to be perfect? Love does not exist in perfection. Love exists in the irony of understanding that our ability to identify our flaws, right? The ability to see our flaws perfects us, because it's in seeing our flaws that we can turn them into facets. It's in that moment of being self-aware and understanding ourselves that we know where we're putting the work in. And this is the energy that says you can be flawed and we can work on those things together. While for masculine and feminine, this is the energy that says whatever it takes is all it takes, right? This is why it's all Taurus and Libra energy right now. Because when you're trying to work towards balance, you don't think about, what that weight is. You just recognize what creates it, right? And a lot of that space, navigating that force right now, I just keep on seeing this is the energy that works in accordance to that. And sometimes it's easy and sometimes it's not. But this is the energy that does so together. Bottom of the deck on this reading, Queen of Cups in its reversal. Now, and here's the thing about it, and again, we got to talk a little bit about emotionality right now. I'm going to just tell you, this is dry energy right now. It's dry energy. We got a bunch of planets coming out of Pisces, moving into Aries. And so I want to say this, and I need to stress this. There's a little bit of this emotionality here that, and I keep on hearing, and this is having to do with a lot of the work that we're having right now with Neptune moving. And I mean this in a loving way when I say this. Feelings have nothing to do with it. Because remember, we talk about the fact that when we have feelings that we don't put action to, those are feelings that dwell, right? When we dwell on things, you got it. It's like still water. it's like it doesn't go anywhere. Neptune is not about dwelling on things. It's the ocean. The ocean moves, right? The emotions that we stew on, the emotions that we just talk about and talk about, it's about finding something that feels like it brings us forward, right? So there may be a lot of disparity that may be occurring right now as it relates to conversations. And it is the difference between someone that wants to just talk about the emotions versus the feeling about talking about something in a way that feels like it's energetically productive, right? Because that's the thing with Neptune, like the passage of Neptune out of Pisces into Aries. Like, what is Neptune saying as Neptune? I'm getting the message, like, when Neptune moves, we all cry, because like, it's like a lot of emotionality that comes through. It's like a lot of sentiment, but it's like, and again, when Neptune moves, like the sediment of the self stirs up, like it's like the sediment that comes up, but the sentiment that is sediment, sediment and sentiment. Okay, thank you. And so a lot of that work, it's like the difference between feeling emotionally stirred, but in a way that feels like it is directive. So I can see even now, I'm not the type of person that talks about the past coming back, but there's, there's a lot of the past coming back up right now. So there's a lot of that context by which to regulate and recognize the difference between something that feels like it's stirred up and it feels like much the same versus something that feels like it's stirred up and it creates that sense of direction. Right. And I keep on seeing that what's interesting about this is with Neptune moving out of Pisces into Aries, it's not so much the space of hanging upon sentiment. It's acknowledging sentiment for what it is, but it's the difference between, I keep on saying, that's why I keep on hearing fixated versus disassembling. Like the emotion that feels sentimental, right, doesn't provide direction, right? Sentiment is sediment. It sits at the bottom, right? And often that's why I keep on seeing that there's something about that coming through, about that sentiment is sediment, right? Looking at something doesn't want to move it forward. It wants to bring it backwards. It's like wants to, like, something that feels like it's lingering, right? The difference to be able to recognize being sentimental does not replace directional, right? That you can exist. And that's what Neptune says. Neptune says you can be sentimental and still have a direction. Like you can be sentimental and still go anywhere, right? Because they keep on seeing, like, like the ability to hold the enormity of moving with dignity through something, like the space of being able to be productive is not one that feels like you kind of dwell in a space, right? Like it has to do with healing from sentimental stagnancy is what I keep on seeing. That is our daily collective read for today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and experiencing it. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can do so on my site. Please keep in mind, if you book a private reading with me, it is a 2-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site. Also, a couple of updates today before we move into personal readings. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who attended our recent class on the Justice card. Our next class will be held on Wednesday, April 16th at 6 p.m. PST, 9 p.m. Eastern. We will be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the Hangman card. I'm very excited to teach this class. It's going to be a big one. If you would like to become a part of that tarot class program, all you need to do is head over to my Substack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to my Substack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library Archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. Now is a great time to join, though, because you do have about a month leading into the next class. If you would like to catch up on classes, you've got 9 hours worth of material there at your disposal. You will also have access to a one-on-one. I'm going to do my best to give you guys an update on everything we've studied in each class. You'll also have access to a one-on-one chat with me and the other students to ask any questions that you may have in relation to anything that we are currently learning or have learned thus far. And if you become a founding member to my Substack, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, you will also receive and full access to the entirety of the Tarot Church class archive. That's over 12 hours worth of material and continuing to expand. You will also have access to a complimentary one-on-one mentorship class with me, wherein I will assess where you are on your personal tarot journey and give you the best insights in terms of how to utilize those classes to the best of your advantage going forward. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader, as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust amount of experience prevent you from joining our classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Substack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings and services. I also post each day's podcast there. If you want to see today's spread, you can find it there along with the spreads of all the other cloud readings. You will also have access to my newsletter, which will let you know about my in-person events as well as my online live schedule. I also want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students that are seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual pathwork and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits. Also, for my clients that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute readings, weekly or bi-weekly as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey at a discounted rate. Also, I'm very happy to offer dream interpretation readings. So those can be purchased on an individual level or as a series. I will encourage that if you purchase the series, that you make sure that you start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key messages and themes that occur over the dream space. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again.